I was at a point in my life when it seemed like the bottom had dropped out. I needed to change my career so that I could do something more meaningful in life. Hi, this is Jim Brillon. Welcome to this YouTube channel where we talk about all things mental health. This episode is going to be a little bit different because I was asked to share something about my own personal story about why I got into therapy and something about myself. So I usually don't talk a whole lot about myself, but I thought it might be helpful to give a little bit of background. As far as getting into therapy, the way that I did that was actually by working through my own pain. I was at a point in my life when it seemed like the bottom had dropped out. My dad, who was older and retired, had come to live with me and lived with me for a very short time before an accident took his life. And everything in my life kind of shattered at that point. I found myself in a really deep depression, although I tried everything I could do to turn my sadness into action, because it was a motor vehicle accident that never should have happened. So I got involved talking with my city council about putting in a stoplight at that place, and got a lot of support from the community to do those things. But long story short, about a year later, I had to leave an unhealthy relationship that I'd been in for several years. And again, it seemed like the bottom had dropped out. So at some point, I got myself into therapy. I started seeing an individual therapist, and then eventually got into a men's group that really ended up changing my life, because I was at a point where I was rethinking everything. I needed to change my career so that I could do something more meaningful in life. I think one of the things that happens when you lose somebody is that you start to realize your own mortality. And somebody had asked me at one point, if you knew that you had 6 months to live, what would you do? And the thing that came to my mind was that I'd do something to help people. So I was in this men's group, and there was this wonderful psychoanalyst who'd been doing therapy for like 60 years. And I remember her saying one time in group that, I've been doing therapy for 60 years and I look forward to going to work every day. And that was when a light bulb moment went on. And I thought, that's what I need to do. I'd actually thought about going into psychology years earlier, but for a lot of different reasons. Couldn't afford college, and all kinds of reasons that I kind of talked myself out of it. Long story short, went back to school, got my degree. One of the other benefits that really benefited my life was when I was exploring my own healing was I learned mindfulness and various mind-body practices, which really helped to change my relationship to my own pain. And those are things that I integrate into the work that I do now with other people. So, I don't know that the story would help other people, except to say that, never give up. And even when things get really dark and seem hopeless, you can find hope, and you can reconstitute yourself. You can work through your pain, and you can transform that into action. So, I guess that's one message that I want to send to people is, never give up, and realize that even if you get to a point in your life where you can't see this next step in front of you, you have to have faith that that step is going to be there. It's also really important to reach out to people. Maintain a social support system and talk with people, because I know that for myself, when I was looking for resources, I would talk to people just in passing, and they're like, oh, I know where you can get that. I know somebody that does that. I know where you can go to get that kind of help. So make sure that you're not keeping all of your pain inside, and that you're willing to share that with other people, because it can really make a lot of difference. And by doing that, often you get the support that you need. And the last thing is that you have to practice compassion for yourself. A lot of times when things go wrong in our lives, we beat up on ourselves. And that when our self-esteem is taken a beating, what we need to do is lift it up and do everything we can to revive it, not beat it to a pulp. So practicing compassion for yourself is incredibly important. Like I say, a lot of the things that I learned through my own healing, I have been able to translate into healing for other people, and brings a lot of meaning and purpose to my life, and I enjoy going to work every day. So if the videos are helpful, I encourage you to like and subscribe and sign up for notifications. Let me know if there's something that you'd like to hear about, and I'll look forward to talking with you again. Take care.